when I started using a digital guidebook, obviously I do a lot of other things, but the digital guidebook alone, for me to talk about that, my reviews 100% went up. I just want to introduce myself. My name is John Hildebrand. I'm based in Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been hosting short-term rentals since early 2016. And I currently have 9 properties in my portfolio, and I hope to be growing. So a couple of problems I had when I first started is I didn't know about some of the platforms, right? So guests would reach out to me and be like, hey, where do I go eat? How do I do the Wi-Fi? How do I turn on your smart TV? And I would have to either make something in Photoshop or I have to write a long text message and try to explain it. But luckily, Hostfully for guidebooks, this made it so easy. And I put everything in there before I launched my property on how to turn on the fireplace, how to turn on the hot tub, how to check in, videos and photos, all this information. And honestly, guest communication is like a 0 when people check in. So with the guidebooks, I just spent extra time, like a quick video on how to turn things on, and then we write it out, and then we have example photos and links, and my communication from guests is no longer about that anymore. They go there, they see it once, or if they do ask, I just send them a simple link. Be like, oh, you might have not seen this in the guidebook, but here's a direct link on how to turn on the smart TV or the fireplace. And then it's usually like, wow, this is so impressive. Thank you so much. I haven't seen many hosts do this. This made my life easier. And so if it's guidebooks that I'm looking at, I do a ton of research on every one of them. What I like about it, the pricing, customer service, the design, everything. With you guys, one thing that really stuck out is the customer service. That's a huge part of learning a new program, is having resources where if I ask a question or I reach out, you have easy response, great customer service, examples of other guidebooks and whatnot. And for me, that was game changer. I was like, okay, this is the platform I want to grow my business on. I feel confident enough I can keep growing. Another thing I thought that was very important is I'm a huge branding guy, and I really liked the branding and the look of the guidebooks. Not only that, I can add my own colors that match my brand, which is really cool, and it tells more of that story. So for me, once I started learning some of those things, I'm like, okay, this is the company that I want to work with. I know it helped because the reviews would talk about the guidebook. They'd be like, he was very detailed in every single part of his business. He really explained how to check in, how to use this, how to do that, where to go. We did an ATV ride thanks to John's suggestion in his guidebook. So the guidebook is really a part of that experience. And my average star reviews now are about a 4.95, 4.97 on pretty much all of my homes. And I contribute a lot of that, honestly, to the digital guidebooks. It just makes the experience that much easier. So another thing that I just learned actually the other day with my guidebooks is an upsell. So it's a win-win for me as a host to provide as much value to the guest experience as possible. So guests sometimes will reach out to me and be like, hey, we want to go on a hike or we want to go on a horseback riding. How do I do that? But now, I did not know this, but now there's a thing called Viator. I hope I'm saying that right. Viator that links to my guidebook. I set up a profile, and then I get 8% commission by referring my guest. And it's just a win-win. My guests are so happy that this feature exists. They're like, hey, John, we looked in your guidebook. We saw horseback riding. They clicked on the link. They booked it. I get 8%. Insane. But it's not just about the money. It's just also just giving more to your guest and options. So it's a great upsell, great way to make money, but also a great way to make your guests extremely happy. And again, get those 5-star reviews.